Please, please don't fall. Ah. This happens every time I want to film a video. The camera is on low battery. Every time, I swear. I need to get better at learning to charge it afterwards. But today's the 21st of June 2024, a Friday at about 9 at night. Basically, I've been wanting to film this video, but a lot of stuff has happened in my life. And one of those things was yesterday. I was at work and I smacked the back of my head on the underneath of a table. Like, not just like a smack really, it was like a whack. It was like a proper full-on hit to the head. And to be honest, since then I haven't felt quite right. Not felt very good at all. My head's still sore, I've been headachy, sickly. I had to go and sleep for like 5 hours earlier, probably longer. Like, my grandparents left at about 1 and I woke up about 5:30 because I just felt like shit. And I had a nightmare during that time. My nightmares are really bad and really weird. And then before that, when I was going to film this video the other day, a lot of stuff just happened and then I had to go to work, and basically life has been a bit busy and hectic. But we are back and we are going to film the Asexuality Pride look today. And the last thing I should probably be doing is doing my makeup. I'm not even out with my friends tonight because I've not been great. But at least if I start filming this and I feel all terrible, I can just get in my bed and go snooze. If I'm out and about and I feel terrible, yeah, so I don't feel great, but I want to film this and I have my own experiences to talk about with this. So yeah, and I think it's important to talk about this, to be honest, because if somebody like had told me it was okay when I was younger, I feel like I would have had a much healthier and better mindset. So we're gonna get into it. Also, I'm wearing this pride top today. This one is so cute. But I'm going in with my base first of all. I'm starting to overheat. Oh, I've been overheating a lot. I've got fibromyalgia, but I've been really struggling with it. Yeah. Anyways, I'm putting my base on. My eyes are very sore, like from my headache, because my headaches tend to go into my eyes. And luckily it's not directly in my eye, or I wouldn't even be able to film this. Like, I get headaches that are so bad my eye just kind of closes over. But luckily we're not at that point yet. And if we do get to that point, this video is being scrapped. But for now, I am just putting my base on. So, yeah. Okay, so the asexual flag is black, grey, white, and then purple. So my plan is kind of to do like black, grey, white, purple. Or black, grey. No, I was right the first time. Black, grey, white, purple. It's kind of my plan. Yeah, that's kind of my plan for it. I want to do a nice cute little look with eyeshadow and I'm very excited about it. The black strip represents asexuality, the grey strip representing the grey area between sexual and asexual, the white strip sexuality, and the purple strip is for community. So that's pretty cute. Oh my god, honestly I was just thinking how to do this, but I think I figured it out. So I'm going to go in with the black first from my W7 palette, so a black shade, and I'm going to put it here on my eyes. And it's going to be good, but oh, there's a spider in my hair. Ah, spider! It's like a little money spider. Get off me, get off me, get off me, get off me. It's like a teeny little spider crawling all over me. Spiders, you're fine from a distance, not crawling all over me. Anyways. Right, anyways. So, like I was saying, I'm going to put black on my lid. Oh, I've done it a bit too much. I should have started with the lighter colours and worked my way up. That was a bit silly of me. That was a bit silly of me. But we're going to put black on this part of my eye for the look. Alright, I'm going to clean this up and get back to you guys. Okay, for the grey, we're going to be going to the Revolution palette and adding the silvery glitter hybrid, but you can just add a silvery glittery grey. Or you can just use grey, but I want sparkles. So I'm going to put this on this part of my eye. Oh my god, that looks cool. Hell yes. Right. That looks really fucking cool, not gonna lie to you guys. And then on this side, they're kind of like the reverse of each other, which I think is really cool. Like on either eye, but yeah. Anyways. I'm just adding the glitter to the middle. But look at my finger, it's all glittery. This is very cool. Boop. Got a glitter nose now, but this is so cool. Anyways, oh yeah, asexuality is basically experiencing limited to no sexual attraction. But Google says experiencing no sexual feelings or desires, not feeling sexual attraction to anyone. A person who experiences no sexual feelings or desires or who is not sexually attracted to anyone. But asexuality is a spectrum. Like, oh, this definition says little or no sexual attraction to others. Asexuality, or ACEs, like asexual people or ACEs, often identify somewhere on a spectrum that includes their emotional, spiritual and romantic attraction to other people. It might be helpful to think about how you feel about your boyfriend too. I don't know if I like the end of that sentence, because your sexuality is not based on other people, but like as in, how do I explain this? Like obviously it's about attraction to other people, but like it's about how you feel, not about your boyfriend, but yeah, or girlfriend or partner. But anyways, I have my own experiences with asexuality because, okay, I struggle to talk about this in real life because our society is so, like, heavily puts an impact on sexual and romantic relationships. And I felt that pressure, and I still feel that pressure, and I have been... Oh, this is hard. Okay, I've been made fun of. I've been made to feel like I am less, essentially, or my life is worth less because of this. I've had people thinking that I'm just, like, awkward and undesirable, just mean, horrible things. And I've had people make me feel really bad about being on the asexuality spectrum. Like, I'm demisexual, but when I was younger, I was basically asexual. I'm saying basically asexual. I was asexual. Because this is hard. This is harder than I thought it was going to be. Because in a way, people might hate me for this, but in a way, this feels almost harder to talk about than being, like, pansexual, because I've accepted the fact that I'm pansexual. I still have a hard time accepting that I'm kind of asexual and I was asexual, so that's fun. But I want to talk about it because it is important, because there is nothing wrong with you. If you're asexual or on the asexual spectrum, there is nothing wrong with you. And the fact that our society and other people, like our peers, make us feel like there's something wrong with us is just horrible. Like, there's so much weight on it. Like, you have to want those things, or or like, oh my god, the notion that if you don't like want to have sex with someone that you don't love them, or like all these horrible myths and misconceptions. But like, yeah, it's just rough, to be honest, because how do I explain this? I didn't get sexual attraction until I was 16, 17 years old. More closer to 17 years old, to be honest. Like, I was basically about to turn 17. I didn't get sexual attraction before that, and it's hard because, you know, your peers around you all like talking about like sex and that, and I didn't get it. And like, I used to think that people just chose to do it. Like, it wasn't, I didn't understand that like they were actually attracted to that person, and like it was like the attraction of wanting to do it. I just thought they were doing it because that's what you do, and like if you care about someone, or if you just, that's what people did, you know. I didn't understand that there's an attraction, that people actually want to do it. Like, I remember saying to my best friend, like, throughout growing up, like, yeah, I'd do it if, like, I really cared about someone. I didn't understand that you're supposed to, like, want to, you know? You're not supposed to just do it out of obligation, just like, yeah, we care about each other, so I might as well. I didn't understand that people were actually attracted to people, and I didn't understand, like, because I got romantic attraction. I've had crushes at that point, but I didn't understand sexual attraction, to be honest. I didn't get it. I just thought that people just did it because that's what you do. I didn't understand that there was actually like a drive there. And like learning, I should be doing makeup, I'm just talking, but white next. But I had to learn basically that like people, well, I felt it myself eventually, but, and by the way, just because I'm demisexual doesn't mean that you're, like, if you're asexual doesn't mean that you're, like, gonna suddenly experience sexual attraction. Like, it's not like people going, oh, you will one day. Like, respect people, you know? If that changes, that changes, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. Respect them. But it kind of changed for me, because to be honest, I'm still, like, I'm demisexual, so I don't really experience sexual attraction unless, like, there's, like, an emotional bond. But it's more than that, because for me, it's like a switch in a way, like a click. Like, it's like it clicks in my brain. I either have the attraction or I don't. Like, it's almost like, and I could, like, not have any attraction to them in that way, and then it can just click on and I have that attraction. But it's not like everyone I love in a romantic way, I'm like, I want to do that now. It's different. It's so different. Like, it's, for me, it's like, I have it or I don't, you know? And I can change, but, like, I don't really, I struggle with, like, sexual attraction towards people, to be honest. Which is different from, like, sex drive and, like, stuff like that. That's separate. It's about your attraction towards other people. And I have very limited experiences in being, like, actually sexually attracted to people. And a lot of the time, when I've said about stuff like that, I've just been wanting to do it because a lot of the time, when I was younger, it was like I'd want to because it's like I felt like that's what I should want. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, I would want to because I felt like I would want to. Does that make sense? Rather than actually want to do anything. Like, I would think about it because I would want to understand and want those things, but I really struggled, and I still struggle with it to this day, to be honest. And I think it's important to talk about because I have been kind of, well, not kind of, I was treated like someone with like 3 heads in my friendship groups. Like, when they would talk about stuff and they would kind of just make fun of me and single me out, and you know, it was not fun. Like, I get that they were joking, but like, it got to a point where it was like every single conversation would just be it would loop around to making fun of me, basically. So, not great, to be honest. But anyways, purple on the bottom. This is hard to talk about, I'm not gonna lie. I feel emotional, but purple under here now. But I wanted to make this video because I don't think it's right or fair, the amount of pressure and like the amount of myths and like the pressure, especially the internalized pressure of like, what is wrong with me? There is nothing wrong with me. You know, it's just our society is so fucking sex crazy. And like, don't get me wrong, like, sex positivity is a thing. Like, that's another thing. If you don't have sex, it's like you're some unattractive prude. If you do have sex, you're like a slut. Like, there's no in between, I swear to God. Like, people are like, oh my God, they sleep with so many people. Oh my God, you don't sleep with anyone? Can we just stop judging people? Like, Jesus fuck. Like, I'm sorry, but the amount of judgment and horrible negative opinions, like, let people just live. Don't peer pressure people. Don't judge them. Let them live. Christ Church, like, I can't even begin to compute how fucked up it is, like, that we are like this, you know? As a society, like, there's so much weight on romantic and sexual, like, relationships and, like, attractions, like, it's crazy. Like, I can't really, this video is hard, not gonna lie, this video is really hard, guys. I thought I would have an easier time filming this, but I'm struggling, to be honest. Because I don't really talk about this IRL. Like, I do sometimes, but, like, I struggle to talk about it. And I'm not really ever that fully honest about it. Like, I barely tell people that, yeah, I barely experienced that, to be honest, you know? Because people don't really relate. Like, it's quote-unquote weird. Like, I realised that, I was having a conversation. It's like, oh, yeah, like, when I was 13, and I was like, 13? What? Like, it baffles me because I don't know. It just baffles me because I never experienced that. And also, I never really understood it properly. Like, I always thought people were just doing it for the sake of doing it. And, like, also, for me, like, I don't know, it's always been different for me, and like, not a lot of people really understand, like, and also when people would say like, oh, I'm not gonna like have like sex with them, for example, until like it's serious, I just thought like it wasn't like it, like I didn't realise that they were choosing, that they were attracted to them, but they were choosing not to. I just assumed it was like, oh yeah, you're waiting for it to like kick in. Nope, that's not what they're on about. A lot of the time, like, people mistake asexuality for celibacy as well, like being celibate, and that's not it. It's about the attractions you feel. Like, you can be asexual, and there's like a spectrum, and I was one of those like sexually like repulsed asexuals. Like, the idea of sex made me feel sick, not gonna lie. But I would research it a lot because I wanted to understand, and I wanted to get it, and I wanted to know, you know, I wanted to know. So I would research it a lot. But it, like, a lot of the time, even now, the idea, the concept of sex, like, it makes me, like, unless I'm, like, actively experiencing that attraction, a lot of the time the idea and the thought of it just makes me feel really uncomfortable, you know? And, like, I just, yeah, I'm kind of asexual, basically. I'm demisexual, but I'm kind of asexual. But, like, it's so weird because, like, I was basically, well, I'm on the asexuality spectrum. So when I was 17, it was like, oh, I understand. I get it. Like, I get that I've been completely wrong this whole time, you know? But yeah, because I didn't really understand sexual attraction. I just thought people just made those choices. I didn't understand it was actual attraction. So, yeah. Anyways, this is the makeup so far. I got black, silver, white. Black, silver, white. I feel like I need to add more silver. This video is hard, not gonna lie. I struggle to talk about this IRL, never mind on the internet. But it's very important to talk about because I still struggle with this. I still feel the pressure of this. I still deal with a lot of self-hatred, and I want to change that. You know, there's like other people, I've said this before on the channel, other people I am so accepting of, and I'm saying like there's nothing wrong with you and you are who you are. And if anyone else said like the experiences that I'm recounting to you as my own, as theirs, I would be completely loving and supporting, like, yeah, absolutely. But because it's myself, I am so horrible to myself, and I want to work on that because I'm trying to treat myself like my own friend, because honestly there is nothing wrong with me, and the amount of pressure I've had in my life and being made to feel bad, like for example, I'm like basically like I'm on the asexuality spectrum, but when I did feel like the attractions towards people, I was then shamed for it. Like I was made fun of for not having those experiences and attractions, and then I was made fun of when I did. So it has actually, oh hello, it has actually been so long I forgot what I was saying. I went downstairs, made myself a cup of tea, did my eyebrows off camera. This is the look so far, but we're not quite done yet. But I've decided, while I was downstairs I had time to think, and I've decided for the rest of this video I'm going to talk about my past experiences, and then in my demisexuality video I'll talk about my current experiences. I was so confused there, and it's the lighting. I was like, why is my hair lighter in that point? It's not, it's the lighting. But yeah, I've had time to think, and I'm going to talk for the rest of this about how I did feel, and how I still sometimes feel, but how I did mainly feel when I was younger. So when I was younger, I was asexual, and I didn't have sexual attraction towards people. And like your physical, how do I word this? You can be romantically attracted to someone. You can be sexually attracted to someone. I just whacked myself in the face. You can like the aesthetic of people, all that stuff. I had romantic attraction when I was younger, and I spoke about that in a romantic video if you want to go watch that, but I had that experience, but I was mainly asexual until I was asexual until I was like 16, 17, closer to 17, and yeah, I didn't have those attractions, and for me, when I was younger, so like when I was like, I don't know, what's the normal age people experience sexual attraction? I don't even know. Let's say like 13, I guess. I don't even know, like, when are people supposed to? I don't even know, but, or supposed to, you know what I mean? I guess, like, when I was a teenager, I didn't care about having sex, and I didn't have those attractions and those wants, and I didn't really care that I didn't care, because I was like, oh, that's a thing for when I'm older, you know, it's all good. But then I got older, and older, and older, and then when it got to, like, oh, what was it, like, I guess about 16, I was a bit like, okay, why, when am I going to feel like this, you know, because I also thought that, like, I would, because people would talk about it, and I was like, well, I would if I was with the right person, but it wasn't coming from a point of, like, attraction, it was coming from a point of social obligation, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, it was one of those things where, like, I went too hot, but it was one of those things where I thought about it as like a social thing, like it's just what people did versus my actual feelings, because I didn't have any, and I wanted to learn about it. And the thing is, I was repulsed by the idea of it in a way. Like, I was either, how do I word this? Because I had romantic attractions towards mainly girls a lot of my life. So when I'd think about like the fact that I was going to be romantic with like a girl, I would then be like, oh, well then if it got to that stage, then I need to know what to do, and you know, I would do it because I cared about them. I didn't think about it in the way of like, because I'd want to. It was more like, because I care about you, we should how do I word this? Because I cared about them, it would be like, oh, we would, like, in a hypothetical, when I'd think about it, it would be like, because I care about them, that's what would happen, kind of thing. Not really from no attraction point of view. And it didn't make me feel sick, but it made me feel scared. Whereas with men, I didn't have that romantic attraction, so I was a bit like, I feel sick just thinking about this. I don't like them even romantically, so why would I want to do that, basically. I'm going to put mushrooms in. Little purple mushrooms into my ears. I'm going to put my piercings in, and then I'll get back to you and finish the makeup. Hello? Oh no, don't fall. I got purple mushrooms in, and I got a heart and infinities in. I went for purple mushrooms to see the look. Do mushrooms reproduce asexually? I think they do. I might have to Google that. Apparently mushrooms can do both. They can asexually and sexually reproduce. How cool is that? Go mushrooms. But yeah, I got little mushrooms in because they're purple. But then I got curious and I was like, I'm pretty sure because they're a plant. Anyways, yeah. Right, continuing the rest of the makeups. So far we've got black, silver, like sparkly glitter, white, black, silver, sparkly glitter, white, purple under my eyes. My eyebrows done. Now we're going to emo-fy it, which is lining my eyes in black, which I like to do with my makeup looks. You don't have to, you can just do this part. But I'm going to add the black in the waterline because I like doing my makeup that way. It's just my little personal touch to the look. But you can do it or you don't have to if you're going to do this look. Yeah. But obviously, I can't speak for everyone who like is on the asexuality spectrum or asexual. I can't speak for them or over them. I can't even speak for people that are demisexual because everyone has their own experiences and their own feelings. And what's quite interesting is like how aromantics can like it in like the media form, so can asexuals, like music especially. My music taste is yeah, sometimes, and that's so funny because especially when I was younger, I didn't have those attractions. But I would listen to music like that, unbothered. Which also, I was raised on Eminem, so probably part of that, but yeah, I just found that interesting. But I might need to add more purple back in, guys. Loving this though. Oh. Yeah, I'm going to add more purple in a minute. Lining my eyes with the black. It's like almost 11 o'clock at night, by the way, and I'm doing my makeup for a video. Before I whacked my head, actually, at work, I was going to do this video and then go out with my friends. Like, I was going to do this makeup look, then go out with my friends, and I was very excited about it. Then I whacked my head and I've been feeling ill ever since, so instead I'm still filming the video, but I'm gonna then take some photos, jump in the shower, and then probably settle in bed. Honestly. I've had a very hectic time recently and I have been very unwell since whacking my head, to be honest. And you might be wondering, Maddie, go down A&E. Last time I went down A&E, they gave me a headache from their terrible lighting and they gave me no answers. and I would rather rest at home. And obviously if it got bad enough I would contact a medical professional, but at the moment I'm conscious, I'm talking, I just have a really bad tender headache and I go through phases of feeling sick. So my Google diagnosis is either it gave me a headache from whacking my head, because I'm quite a headachy person, or I've got a mild little concussion. But either way, I'm hoping to sleep it off, which is what I have been doing today. But anyways, yeah, I can't speak for anyone who's asexual. Also, we need more asexual representation, I swear to God. And like any asexual representation, I feel like it's just classed as like the weirdo that doesn't like sex, and it's like, what the fuck? Why can't we get a cool asexual character where it's like no big deal and they're like not some fucking weirdo alien, you know? Like, why is it that it's so deemed as like the weirdo? Like, I hate that. Which is how I was painted in real life a lot of the time. It's just the weirdo, and it's like not fair and not right, and it's because this society is so obsessed with sex. But then also, like, if, like, it's so weird, like, if you don't have sex, you're a prude, right? And you're, like, undesirable and blah, blah, blah. If you do, you're painted badly anyways, as, like, irresponsible and, like, called names, and you just can't win in this life, I swear. Like, you can't win. But yeah, when I was younger, I didn't care that I didn't care about sex. And then when I got older and the peer pressure, especially from people that were my friends, like, I felt really pressured and really made fun of, and like, I'm not even kidding you, every time I would hang out with them, the conversation would just be about sex and relationships, which is fine, but then when it turned to talking about me, it was always steered in like a jokey way. I would be made the joke basically every single time. Oh, Maddie's got nothing to say, and it'd be like, thanks, now I feel incredibly awkward and horrible about myself. And they did this for like years, and it made me feel like absolute shit. So if you're doing that to someone currently, please stop. It makes them feel like shit. Like, they might be laughing along with you, but chances are, inside, you're making them feel horrible, which is not nice. And they might go, oh, I'm fine, it's fine, ha ha ha, but on the inside, if they're like me, on the inside, they're like feeling absolutely horrible. And like they've just grown 3 heads off their shoulders and like are just like some weirdo alien E.T. specimen that you guys are making fun of. They made me feel like an alien. I've always kind of felt like an outsider, an alien anyways. And they just made me feel even more alienated. And then, oh god, like, I hate it. Honestly, I hate it. Even to this day, I'm still painted in that same kind of light. And it's not fair, to be honest. It's really not fair. Yeah. And with me, like, I don't like confrontation. I don't like sticking up for myself. But a lot of the time, I wish I told them all to off, you know? But then I would be seen as being too sensitive and blah, blah, blah. But honestly, it wasn't right. Like, I get having a joke, but it dragged on for years, and it wasn't just having a joke, it was making me the joke, and I hated every second of it. Like, I'm pretty sure the first time I was like, second time, and then it just carried on for years, and it honestly just felt horrible. Absolutely horrible. And I remember saying to my first girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, I remember saying to her how shit it made me feel that they were just talking about me like this, and just, yeah, it made me feel like absolute shit. I remember, like, just feeling like absolute shit, you know? And I felt like I couldn't really talk about how I felt, because every time it kind of shut down me wanting to talk about anything like that, because I was just made the joke. And God forbid I admit to them that, like, I didn't feel the same way as them, because a lot of the time they were just joking about the fact they hadn't, like, had the experiences. But God forbid I told them that I didn't actually feel those attractions for the longest time. Oh my God, I dread to think what the new jokes would have been. And that's not very fair, you know? Like, they were just joking about the lack of experience. And I remember someone who's my friend literally was like, oh yeah, I couldn't imagine you having sex, you're too awkward, you're too this, you're too that. And I'm just like, thanks, cheers. You know, just made me feel terrible. But yeah, and I was just made fun of a lot. And it was making fun of me, like, you could argue they were laughing with me, but it was just turning me into a joke every single time, and it made me feel so shit. But you know, being made fun of was better than having no friends, but I don't know. It just made me feel like shit. And I didn't want to be excluded from the social events, so I just took it. I just honestly took it, and it sucks. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being asexual, and there's nothing wrong with being demisexual or grey sexual, which I was researching into. There's a lot of identities, because I've always said I'm like demisexual, but maybe I need to look more into grey sexual, but I just use demisexual, it just makes the most sense to me. But it was like, basically the definition was like only in certain circumstances, which is very me, honestly, with like sexual attraction. It's like only certain times, and like it's like a click in my brain in a way. That's the best way I can describe it to people. It's like, it's almost like, how to explain this, like I'm asexual until I'm not, if that makes any sense. Like, obviously demisexual is part of the asexuality spectrum, but like, do you get what I'm trying to say? It's kind of like that for me. Like, those feelings are kind of like, I don't feel those attractions until I do, kind of thing. And obviously everyone's different and will have different experiences and feelings. And like, for example, you might not want to have sex and still be allosexual. Like, you can still experience those attractions and not like want to do the actual act, and can still be allosexual. There's a lot of reasons why. Like, I always kind of called it walls, and then I realised that, like, I always thought of it as like having walls up, and I do have walls up. Yes, I do have walls up about that anyways, but there's a difference between like making a choice not to, and not actually feeling that way. And that's what I had to wrap my head around as well, is that when people were talking about stuff like that, like not wanting to, a lot of the time it was a choice, you know, or like they're like standards. But that's different from not actually feeling those feelings, which is something I had to learn. And also another thing is, like, a lot of people paint it as like romantic and like sexual attractions on the same level, which for me they're definitely not. They can be, but they're not a lot of the time. Like, I can be really romantically into someone and still not have those feelings, you know. And like, yeah, it honestly, and like physical and mental wise doesn't link up for me a lot. Like, you know, it's just one of those things. Like, that's my experience though. And I don't want to talk too much about it on the internet. I feel like I've already said enough. But I just want to say, for anyone out there, that it's okay. Like, honestly, I mainly wanted to make this video because it's something I struggle with in real life, and I have struggled with in real life, is accepting myself and accepting that I'm kind of asexual. Like, that is a big deal to me, and that is more scary to admit than a lot of things right now, because our society is so obsessed with that, and people make me feel lesser and have made me feel lesser, and I think it's so fucked up that like your value as a human being can be painted by that. Like, that's just horrible to me. Like, life is worth more than sex and romance, like I said in the aromantic video. Life is worth so much more than that, you know? And don't get me wrong, it's okay to find those things important and to care about those things. I care about those things too. But it shouldn't be the be-all and end-all of life, is kind of what they've painted it as. And it's so romanticised and so demonised at the same time. Like, especially sex, it is romanticised and demonised. And that is a lot to unpack for anyone, never mind someone that, like, has conflicting feelings, you know? And yeah, I struggle a lot with this, and I have struggled a lot with this for years, and I guess I wanted to make the video to tell myself as well that I'm okay, it's all okay, but also to tell other people out there that have felt the same way as me that it is okay and you're okay, and I am so sorry if you are going through the feelings that I've went through and go through to this day. Your worth is not defined by any of that, and anyone that tells you otherwise is horrific. And the biggest person that questions my own worth, but it was because I was, you know, made fun of and stuff. But I am also my worst critic. Like, even when someone isn't giving me a hard time about it, I'm giving myself a hard time about it. But I'm boiling. Oh yeah, the makeup look is done. We got mascara on. Oh, my rule about eyelashes, if they don't look like spiders, not real ones, thank you, money spider on the floor, we don't want them. But that's not an invitation to climb up on my eyelashes. But yeah. There is a spider, a little mini spider crawling around on my floor somewhere, and that thought is kind of scary, but I hope you're having a nice life. Please don't crawl back on my head. But yeah. Do you guys like the look? I love it. Should I add more purple back in? We're adding more purple back in. I feel like the purple's been kind of drowned out. But yeah, honestly, I was and still am kind of asexual, and that has been so hard to accept. My camera battery died, but this is the finished look. We got black, grey, white, purple. Black, grey, white, purple. I love it. I think it looks so cute. Got my little earrings in. I think it looks so cute. I love it. Yes. I wanted to end the video. I was going to try and do it on my camera, but my camera storage ran out, and trying to export again, I'm having issues, and I honestly, it's like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm starting to feel sick, and I want to finish this video, take some photos, jump in the shower, and go relax, and edit my video and relax. But this is the makeup look. I love it so much. So much. This was kind of a hard video for me to make emotionally, but hopefully someone out there feels like there's more representation now and less alone, because I know I've felt alone before with it. And I will be doing a demisexual flag pride look soon, which is what I am, but it's on the asexuality spectrum, so technically this is also kind of my look too. And I was asexual for most of my life, if I'm thinking, oh my god, yeah, most of my life. So yeah, this technically is kind of like me taking back pride of it and being proud of myself and accepting myself. But yeah, this is the look under the light, because there is no sunlight, we're filming this at night, so this is the look under my light. And this is the look with glasses because I wear glasses. Whoop. Anyways, one last little look. I love this look. Honestly, I think it looks so cute. Let me know if you try it. Let me know if you like it. Let me know your identity if you feel comfortable. Let me know if you know any asexual characters or people in real life, because there needs to be more representation. I will link below more videos on the asexual identity, because I have my own experiences, but I can't speak for everyone. And to learn a bit more about it. Yeah, I love this look so much. Taking back pride, especially for younger me. Like, this is for you, past Maddie. This is for you, and for all the times that you were made to feel less of, because you're not. So happy pride, past Maddie. Happy pride to you all. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you like the look. And overheating and yeah, don't feel great, but thank you for watching. Subscribe to become a Madal to join our quest for madness. I'm Madalada Munden, never say that. I have a second channel called Madalada if you want to check it out, link in the description. I have a Instagram at madaladamunden-2. And yeah, let me know if you have any flag suggestions or any video suggestions. I want to do a Q&A at some point, like a pride Q&A or just a Q&A in general if you guys have questions for me. So if you would like that, maybe leave some questions for me below to answer. Thank you. It doesn't have to be pride related. It can be about anything in general that you want. Someone's asked me to do a room tour. I will once I've actually tidied my room. It's a bit not tour ready yet. But thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to become Madal. Like if you want. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the kindness and support I've been getting. It means a lot to me. And until next time, goodbye. Have a lovely day and happy pride. Happy pride, guys.